The Solemn Pontifical Mass with His Holiness Pope Peter III took place at 10 o'clock in the morning. It was a majestic and solemn event, full of reverence and devotion. The splendor of the ceremony was reflected in every detail, from the elaborate decoration of the altar to the heavenly singing of the choirs. The faithful gathered in the majestic cathedral, their hearts rejoicing with emotion and faith. The presence of Pope Peter III added an aura of peace and serenity to the atmosphere as he gave his blessing to the assembled crowd. It was a unique moment for everyone present, a sacred experience that will remain engraved in their hearts forever. On this solemn occasion, the Pope wears the Holy Tiara, a Catholic custom that has its origins in the 8th century. Traditionally, it was obligatory in solemn ceremonies and represented the powers of the Pope. The papal tiara consists of 3 overlapping crowns that represent the Pope's triple authority as Sovereign Pontiff, Supreme Shepherd, and Vicar of Christ on earth. This ceremonial headdress not only symbolizes papal authority, but also reflects the spiritual wealth and history of the Church. The rich history of the Carmelite order is reflected in every detail of the vestments, from the warm and deep tones to the intricate designs that adorn each piece. High-quality textiles and meticulous craftsmanship bring these sacred vestments to life, which become a symbol of veneration and respect in religious rituals. The beauty and solemnity of the Carmelite robes inspire reverence and devotion in those who see them. Every fold and detail tells a story of faith and piety, recalling the deep spiritual bond that has carried the Carmelite order through the centuries. The rite of the Palmarian Holy Mass is very similar to the rite of the first Holy Mass celebrated by our Lord Jesus Christ in the upper room of Jerusalem. With this very short Mass, it became possible to celebrate many more Masses in order to receive the rich graces of heaven. Solemnity and devotion permeated every moment of the ceremony as the faithful united in prayer and devotion. The singing of the choirs echoed in the majestic cathedral and raised souls to the divine. The scent of incense filled the air and created a sacred atmosphere. The faithful who were present at the Mass experienced a deep spirituality and felt part of something so solemn and transcendental. The Palmarian Holy Mass is not only an act of adoration, but also a bridge to the eternal, a moment of union with the divine. The grace and blessing of heaven descended on the believers, renewing their spirits and strengthening their faith in the way of salvation. The Holy Father celebrates 8 Holy Masses and then gives the papal blessing to all by stretching out his hands in a gesture of love and divine protection. The faithful feel blessed and comforted by the closeness of the Holy Father and his message of hope and faith. The presence of the Holy Father is a beacon in the midst of darkness, reminding everyone of the importance of faith and communion with God in daily life. It is a moment of grace and spiritual renewal for all those present who leave the Church with a heart full of peace and the certainty that they have been touched by the hand of God through the Pope. For more information, visit our official website, www.palmarianchurch.org. 1. Holy, Catholic, Apostolic, and Palmarian Church.